What's goody, everybody? It's full-time trip back in the building. Arsenal 1, Leicester 0 away at the KP. I got Ghostin in the building with me. What's good, Brody?
You know, the vibes are high right now. We got the dub. You know, it's a 1-0, but we take those in the title charge.
Man,
we take those.
The old classic, man. 1-0 to the Arsenal, man. I live with that, man. But it was a solid game today. Again, dominated a lot of the arcs of play throughout the match. The possession stats 66-34. Again, it was holding on a little bit at the end, but we came through with the result. Goal from Gabriel Martinelli. Really, really great run. Some good performances across the pitch, and we grinded out a result, man. We grinded out the 3 points necessary needed today. We extend our lead at the top back to 5 points. Talk to me about the game. How'd you feel about it?
Bro, I'm happy with the game, you know, because I'm looking at the statistics. I'm looking at the statistics right now, and I'm seeing that, you know, Leicester only got 1 shot, and it wasn't even on target. You know, that's what we call domination, bro. Absolute domination. 66% possession. We locked them down, bro, at their home ground. The fans must have been bored, I won't be surprised if people were going home at halftime, because that game for them, our defense had them on lockdown. They tried to bring on Vardy, thinking he's the talisman. Done niche. It's just, you know, it's domination, bro. I'm happy with that game.
Hey,
solid
man.
Performance.
It looked like the Red Bull ran dry for my guy. Yes. Clip them wings, boy. You ain't getting no wings on us no more, bro. Cut that out. It's done. You're done, son. It's over for that. But yeah, really, really solid performance today. All I wanted was the 3 points today, man. I'm sorry. I really wasn't particular on the performance, especially with Leicester. I just didn't care. This is a game where it's like, yo, we could beat them 5-0, 1-0. I didn't really care. I just wanted 3 points to get done, and we did that. But speaking on the game, controlled it well. I think the chances that we need to finish, bro. We had like six shots in the first half. Just being a little bit more particular and like a bit more quality in you know the final third, making some things happen. I think that's a point of contention that we need to talk about. Some missed things, some overthinking in transition. Odegaard had this little thing. I think it was in the second half as well, where he kind of did step over. Then that man lost himself, man, like Eminem, bro. He was trying to freestyle, man, like B Rabbit, and he just forgot it. So I just need a little bit more sharpness on that end. But some good performances across the pitch, man. Again, had to go a little bit different with Trossard starting at the false 9. Instead of Eddie Nketiah being a true number 9. But I think that boded well for how we played in the first half. Really good interplay. Trossard has just been really, really good. Trossard is really, really, really good for us, man. The way he brings people into play across the pitch is unselfish. Ball striking ability, an unfortunate disallowed goal. But listen, we grinded through. I had my particular man of the match and stuff, but there were some really good performances all across the board today. And again, most importantly, we just shut them down and shut them out at their place. This is the stuff that champions do. We don't have the best game in front of goal, cool, but we controlled the game incredibly well for most of this game. And when it came down to it, we defended well. We grinded out the result. Listen, you saw a little bit of dark arts there. I can't even front on you. There's a little bit of dark arts mixed in that performance too, from everybody, from Saka, from every. Listen, man, you got us. It was
needed.
It was there. But listen, what championship team? You know what I'm saying? What team who's gunning for the title? What team doesn't have those moments where they grind out a result? I ain't gonna lie, it wasn't excessive in my opinion, but even with the ref against us, even with the PGMOL against us, we still grinding out results. So you love to see it. Yeah. Given that, we can just hop right into these player ratings. I don't got too much added on to that. You want to get into it? I'll start with Aaron Ramsdale. Aaron Ramsdale, I'll give an 8 today. Kept a clean sheet. You know what I'm saying? Not too much going his way, but that's down to more the structure of it. But when he was called upon, really quick off his line to, again, help, you know, snuff out attacks. Good distribution today, actually. And yeah, wasn't really much for him to do, in my opinion. So just pretty standard 8 for keeping that clean sheet away from home. So solid stuff. Moving on to you and Ben White.
Ben White, I'm giving him an 8. Today he was solid. I feel like the overlaps were nice. He was making a lot of forward passes to, you know, try and progress the play. I feel like today he was quality. This wasn't Ben White. This is what you call man Benny Blanco, fam. When he plays like this, you call him Benny Blanco, fam. He was serious. Like today a lot, and I feel like even you, like a lot of the passes that he was making throughout the game, like you were impressed, I was impressed. I feel like today was a solid game for him. Defensively he done well. He cut out a lot of their passes, and even like times where Gabriel would move out wide to like cover, he would immediately drop into centre back and, you know, clean up for him if there was any danger. And I feel like, you were just He had that. You know what the keyword for Ben White today is? Synergy.
Yeah.
That's the keyword. He was locked in.
Yeah. It
So
was
him, yeah.
Yeah, much better performance on his return. Solid. I'm about to skip one because I gotta take precedence on this one. I'm sorry, I gotta pull some rank on this video. My man of the match is Gabriel Maghalaes with a 9 out of 10. I don't care, bro. Say what you want. I'll be real here with y'all. I'm sorry. Gabriel's performances away from home, I'm sorry, he saves us almost every time. In 1v1s,
Yep.
really, really good. Much improved from seasons before. Again, last disc tackles, that Vardy chance that came near post in the second half, he was there at the near post to stop that. He was there. Gabriel,
Yep.
imperial away from home. Fantastic performance from him today. Kept us in the game, kept the ball moving, some great ping passes, was was active in the aerial battles. Again, even when some of our defense was losing them, he was active in aerial battles. Gabriel, we gotta put respect on his name, bro. Y'all can say whatever y'all want, bro. Like, oh yeah, blah, blah, bozo. He don't have that. The man's 25, 24. He still has time to grow. He has the potential to be world-class level of center back. And he's already getting close to that, in my opinion. He just needs to iron some other parts of his game out. But he is a gem for us. He is a leader, and you need to put respect on Gabriel Maghalaes' name. 9 out of 10.
I agree.
My man of the match. I'll throw it back to you for Saliba.
Saliba, yeah, I'm gonna give him. I can't give him the 9 because I feel like Gabriel is definitely the better. But like you said, away games, Gabriel always tends to be the better centre back. But I'm still gonna give Saliba that. I'm gonna give him a 8.5 out of 10 because at the end of the day, I feel like a lot of the time, like when Leicester were like moving out wide to get crosses in, it was Saliba and Gabriel that was cleaning up everything, and I feel like those two, like specifically, were a big part as to why they had literally one shot the whole game. Like they hardly had chances, and I feel like a lot of that came down to those two. I feel like Ben White and Zinchenko, don't get me wrong, they were obviously doing their defensive duties as well, but I feel like they were able to express themselves a lot more offensively just because of how solid Saliba and Gabriel were playing, like from the back, and I feel like. Yeah, Saliba, you get an 8.5 from me. You were solid today.
Solid.
Very solid.
Solid. I'm going to have to throw an 8 to Alexander Zinchenko, our captain today. The 8 just knocks down from a couple of misplaced passes that started those counterattacks. Like, I think the majority of the spooky moments in those transitions, especially in the first half and some of the second half, were some of those misplaced passes from Zinchenko. But otherwise, fantastic performance again today. I feel like Trossard being in that false nine role and interplaying things, he was a lot more efficient today. Zinchenko made himself a lot more efficient given how the system was. He didn't play, he didn't play up front. He didn't drive the ball too much. He just kind of stayed in his slot, did his numbers, and kind of came back when needed. It was a much more first half of the season Zinchenko performance than something that we've been seeing lately with him trying to take too much charge. So wonderful, much more control. Gets an 8 for me today. Solid stuff. Moving on to you and Granit Xhaka.
Granit Xhaka, I'm going to give a 7.5. I feel like today, don't get me wrong, he definitely played well. I feel like he's starting to find his feet again, but there were moments where I feel like, I don't know, he was a bit slow to react. But saying that as well, I do feel like the Leicester players, especially in the midfield, they were applying a lot of pressure on him because a lot of the time, especially in the second half,
they
I
were
was
on
seeing
him.
bro on the floor, and I just feel like, but even so, 7.5. I feel like he done his job. He was covering a lot. Even when Zinchenko was like moving up higher, he would drop into like a left back row cover for him, and he done a lot of good jobs in like disturbing Leicester's counter attacks. And I feel like he was solid on the pitch today. 7.5.
No, I hear that. 100%. I'll move on to Jorghino. Jorghino gets an 8 today for me. Another solid display. Becoming a constant in our team, man. Honestly, just cool, calm passing range. Actually, unreal passing range, if we're going to be honest. That through ball to Saka that just ended up being a mischance was sensual. That was sensual. Yeah. Let's be real here. He's great at again, consistency. Keeping the tempo of the game flowing when we need it to, breaking up play, being secure when he needs to be secure, playing a really good pass when he has the space to. Fantastic. Again, like Jorginho's been a really good player. And I will quote this again. I said this in the game as well. Defensively, because he has the bodies around him in the system and we play so compact, he's able to get himself in certain positions where his lack of athleticism is covered for. Like Gabriel can come get a ball in the air for him or something like that. He'll step up to come make a ball.
Yep.
But when it comes to like being a body and blocking certain things on the ground as they happen, he's been really good at that at most times. I think there was a couple instances in the second half where he tried and failed, but the fact that, you know what I'm saying, he's actually able to, you know, make it there. It's like, it was like an almost chance. He could have got it, could have not. It was like a 50-50, but the system helps him be as best he can be. Honestly, this is boosted Jorghino. This guy's been incredible for us so far. So I got to say an 8, man. Definitely shut me up, and
I agree.
fully behind him. Moving on to you and Martin Odegaard.
Martin Odegaard. I am going to give Martin Odegaard a 7. I feel like it might come across as a harsh rating, but 7 is still an above average performance and it's still high. But I feel like the Odegaard that I know can play a lot better. And I feel like today, like when it came to decision making, like usually he's very good with like the one time passes and, you know, keeping the tempo going.
Yeah.
But I feel like he was very like hesitant today and like, you know, second guessing his like, you know, decision making and this sort of thing. And I just feel like he was a bit off today. But regardless, I saw him constantly running, constantly hunting down players, running out of position to hunt down players. Like he was a good body on the pitch. I don't feel like it was a waste having him there. He definitely done a good job, and as always, he's trying to make them forward passes, but just some of them he took too long, man. And yeah, I think there was like, I know a lot of Arsenal fans like point this out for him, like he should shoot a bit more. And I feel like today was one of those days where he had chances where he could have just roofed it, bro, and just taken a shot, you know, challenged the keeper. But I don't know, man. I feel like he's just trying to like link up the play. Maybe he prefers that, but me personally, I feel like there's situations where he needs to shoot more and take that gamble, fam.
Yeah, no, I hear it. He needs to be more brave. He needs to be more brave and just more selfish in that sense. He needs to just take the shot. Think of that idea, especially in an attacking sense, and just take it. Don't wait for those clear-cut ones. Just take something and see what happens. I fully agree with that. Moving on, I'll take Bukayo Saka. I'll switch up the order here. Bukayo Saka, I'm going to give an 8 today. I think he was consistent. Again, consistent. So close to signing that new deal for us, man. And he is again, one of the cornerstones of consistency in our team. He helps everything tick. Again, getting double marked out of his mind today, but still found spaces, still found points to be, a nuisance to the defense. And he's been really good. There was a chance where Harvey Barnes was free on the left-hand side. He ran his tail off to go block that off and again, made sure it wasn't a goal against us. So he's doing everything on both ends of the pitch, running his socks off for us. Even when he's not directly contributing, he's making something happen in some way, and the game is ticking, in part because of him, man. So solid 8 today. Another solid performance. I'll throw it to you, Gabriel Martinelli.
Gabriel Martinelli, I'm going to give him an 8. He got us the winner that allowed us to take them 3 points home. And I feel like I heard earlier on, I remember earlier in the game, like I even said to you, I heard the commentators saying like, he don't seem like he's playing that well today, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what game they were watching.
I think it was one of
a different Martinelli.
It was one of his better games in his current spell. Honestly, he was more free. And I know he was stutter stepping and stuff in that left-hand side of the box, but at least he was getting the ball off more often than not, to be real.
Yep. And I feel like one thing with him, like, and it used to irritate me before, like I feel like, don't get me wrong, it's a good thing that he always like is willing to like cut in and take on a player, but I feel like he'd always get to a point where he'd cut like in and move so close to like the line that he has no choice but to cross it in. Where I feel like with Trossard playing in like that false 9, where sometimes they might interchange and he might run through the central, it gives him more options, and that's the stuff that you'd see him do with Jesus. They might switch and allow him to cut in, have more freedom, and I feel like today was definitely one of his better games, man. I give him an 8.
Yeah,
definitely an 8. And as usual, he's a constant threat, constantly providing that defensive support. And yeah, man, today was definitely one of his better games. And he almost scored 2. Let alone
discredit him if you dare, man. He puts in the shift for this team. He's gonna die for this badge. I'm gonna back this guy all the way. You say what you want about Gabriel Martinelli. I'm not doubting this guy, bro. He's a talisman just as well. So y'all better be careful, man. Watch your mouths. And I'll throw it to Leandro Trossard. For when he came on, I'm going to give him an 8.5. I'm going to give him an 8.5 simply because when he stepped into that false line role for the 60, 65 minutes, odd minutes he played, he brought back some of those gems, like a portion of what Gabriel Jesus brought, some of the interplay, some of the, I guess, positional calmness of not letting Zinchenko go too forward, letting Xhaka be in more advantageous 8 position. I think at some points Xhaka played a little bit deeper, but I feel like it wasn't as forced. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it was definitely more natural in some of the rotations. Trossard helped a whole lot. Unfortunate goal to get disallowed, but shows you the ball striking ability, the absolute danger he has in front of the box, dribbling, composure, so much stuff, man. He brings a lot to this team, and I'm so glad he's a part of the squad. 8.5 today. Unfortunate not to get his goal, but he's got more goals coming. So I'm pretty sure he got the assist today for this too. He got the assist, so that's something. That's something on his account. You know what I'm saying? We take those. Moving on, I'll give the subs. I'll give them 6s. I think all of them again put in a shift when they needed to when the game got a little bit rocky towards the end. Partey and Ketia and Tomiyasu, shouts to them. Fans, I'm gonna give a 15 out of 10 because they was out singing everybody at the KP at one point. 1-0 to Arsenal all around the stadium. Wonderful stuff. Referee. Craig Paulson, VAR people, PGMOL, negative 525,800 points out of 10. You guys are absolutely terrible. Listen, bro. I can understand some of the things around the Ben White penalty call or the Ben White goal and the grabbing a ref or whatever, or the goalie. I can understand that. That's fine. But if you see a man getting ready to get in German suplex position, grabbing another player around the waist and dragging him to the ground as a ball goes over the top, how can you just overlook that when you've given such a keen-eye decision and like not but a few minutes before? How do you be so? How do you have so much scrutiny over one thing and completely overlook the other? The consistency is so terrible. I need everybody at the ground level sacked. I need them sacked, bro. We need refs from another country. How can you? I'm sorry. How can we claim this is the best league in the world again when it has some of the worst referees, some of the most brain dead referees when it comes to this stuff, bro? You gotta take a deeper look at this. The inconsistency. I'm not saying it just because it's Arsenal, because you can look at 85 million other examples from this season. Just how many people have gotten screwed over from referee decisions is insane. Insane, bro. Y'all hold that negative, bro. Y'all will never get out the positive. Y'all might not ever get out the positive in my lifetime, bro. Terrible refereeing. But I'll throw it to Mikel Arteta last, man. I think personally a 7 today, but what do you think?
Yeah, 7. I feel like one thing that both of us, should I say? I said both of you. I'm tripping. Like you done shadow clone jutsu. I feel like both of us that like had in common was the fact that I feel like he should have let Vieira touch the pitch. I feel like Vieira could have definitely helped us a lot. Maybe even get us that second goal that we was hoping for. I feel like there was a lot of pockets that he could have drifted into, and I feel like he's just such a intelligent player. If not him, then Smith Rowe, because he's on the bench, so I know that he's capable of playing, but he just didn't. Didn't touch the pitch. It would be nice to see either of them. Yeah,
especially when those spaces opened up, like those spaces that Odegaard had. And ML Smith Rowe could have been very, very efficient in those spaces, especially when the game opened up like that, while we still had control of the ball. So, like, you got to pick your poison with that. I ain't going to lie. The Xhaka Partey, Jorghino midfield looked a little bit wild from my view. It just looked a little bit crusty, just tiny little bit. I'm not saying it's all the way crusty, but just a little bit. It's a little morning, crust on it. But we got the job done at the end of the day. But I one of the problem areas with Arteta has been substitutions generally. It's like, is he gonna overthink? Is he not gonna think at all on that and just like let him play the 90? He's gonna make those tweaks over time. But I think we just gotta start being a little bit more granular about that. And hopefully you can see us over the line, get some more goals, and just secure the games quicker. So yeah, that's all we got on that. But what is it? Next up, Everton midweek. Okay, the revenge game, bro. Everton just got clapped by Aston Villa, so we need to give the Brexit Triple H, bro. We need to give him his just due. We need to give Everton their just due at home.
We need to bring hell there, bro.
We need to slap the man up at the Emirates, bro. We're home. We got to cook them, bro. So I hope we do that. Let me know what you guys thought in the comment section below of this game, what we got next, standouts from the game today as well. But without further ado, we are up out of here, man. Thank you, G, so much for your time today. Thank you for stepping in and jumping in with us. And
man, match day vibes.
You know what I'm saying? You know what time it is, man. But don't trip. We'll see you in the next one. COYG.